Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Asynchronous Development Program. I'm Vanusa Palacio, and it's such a pleasure to have you all here. Well, in this video, we'll learn a little bit more about the stages of children's development according to Jean Piaget's theory of the 4 stages of cognitive development. But who was Jean Piaget? Jean Piaget was a Swiss psychologist and developmental biologist whose breakthrough research into the intellectual development of infants, children, and teenagers are crucial for our understanding of how children learn. One of his most important findings was that children are not born with the same cognitive processes as adults. In fact, his research showed these processes develop over time in response to the child's environment and are updated when the child is exposed to new information. This research and the results he obtained led him to create his theory of the 4 stages of cognitive development. And that's what we'll look into right now. Piaget argued that children's cognitive development occurs in stages. As children's thinking changes from one stage to the other, their behavior also changes and reflects these cognitive developments. Well, the 4 stages are sensory motor from 0 to 2 years old, pre-operational stage from 2 to 7 years old, concrete operational stage from 7 to 11 or 12 years old, informal operational stage from 11 or 12 onwards through adulthood. Well, each stage is marked by new intellectual abilities and a more complex understanding of the world. Let's talk about the first stage of development, which is the sensory motor stage. The sensory motor stage is the first stage of a child's cognitive development, and during this stage, children learn about their environment through their senses and motor activities. This stage is composed of 6 substages during which children's behavior progresses from being more reflex-driven to more abstract. Well, number 1, children use their reflexes. During this stage, they rely on their reflexes as they still can't consolidate information from their sensory organs into a single concept. Number 2, primary circular reactions. Following these initial moments, infants start to gather information from their senses. They respond to sounds and sights around them and start to repeat behaviors which generate a pleasing result. Substage number 3, secondary circular reactions. Now, children's behavior becomes more intentional, and they begin to take a greater interest in their environments. Substage number 4, coordination of secondary schemes. In this stage, children can now combine different behaviors to achieve goals. Substage number 5, tertiary circular reactions. Now, children can combine more complex behaviors and actions to achieve different results. And substage number 6, mental combinations. At this stage, children can now deliberate and choose their actions more carefully. They can also use gestures and words to communicate. Moving on, the pre-operational stage is characterized by children's abilities to use mental abstraction and representations. Examples of this can include engaging in pretend play, talking about past events, or people who are not in the same room as them. But their thinking is based on intuition and still not completely logical. They cannot yet grasp more complex concepts such as cause, consequence, effect, time, and comparison. Following this comes the concrete operational stage. During this stage, children are more capable of solving problems because they can consider numerous outcomes and perspectives. All of their cognitive abilities are better developed in this stage. Children's thinking becomes less focused on themselves. They're increasingly aware of external events. They begin to realize that their own thoughts and feelings are unique and may not be shared by others. But most children still can't think abstractly or hypothetically at this stage in their development. The last stage of development, according to Piaget's theory, is the stage of the formal operational stage. Abstract thought characterizes this stage. Children can think about abstract concepts and are not limited to a current time, person, or situation. They can think about hypothetical situations and various possibilities, like situations that don't exist yet, may never exist, or might be unrealistic and fantastical. So, how does knowing all of this about a child's development help us as educators? Here are a few practical tips to keep in mind when teaching children. Remember that children often learn best by doing things rather than by hearing about them. The process of learning is as important or more so than the end result. Don't try to teach a child something they aren't ready to learn. Children learn as much from each other as from parents or teachers. So this is the end of this video, and I hope you have enjoyed it. Bye, see you later.